I've talked about this before, but this is a good as game as any to bring it back up again. So there's an author by the name of David Farland, or David Wolverton. One's his pen name, one's his real name, who read this list of 100 greatest movies of all time, and just talking about their different qualities. And David Wolverton at the time was the guy that in Hollywood that you would give the script to, and he was an expert on audience analysis. So he would be able to take the the script and give an estimate within quite a reasonable accuracy to how much money the script would make. And it was based upon things like what type of protagonist is it, what's the setting, what's the story, who are the characters, and so on. And he read this list of greatest movies of all time, and at the end, the author of this article said something along the lines of, and you can see that because all these different movies are from different genres and are so completely unlike one another in all these various ways, it's just a mystery and a black box what makes something so amazing in film. Because there's clearly no common theme among these. And he was like, well, yeah, actually, I think there are several common themes that are running through these. And these formed a lot of the basis for his theses regarding, good storytelling, and used them to great success in a lot of his own books. But one of those was the idea of resonance, that if you looked at this top 100 list, the Western movie was like the most Western possible movie that had the dust of the landscape and the brightness of the sun portrayed really viscerally, and all the settings and behaviors and characterizations were really rich throughout the entire piece, not just as a setting, but was like central and pivotal to the story. And I'm sure many of you have seen something where it's like, oh, it's just a regular old story, and it happens to be in the Wild West, right? Or, the comedy that was the most dedicated, devoted to comedy, this most extreme form of that like everything in the setting and the characters and the plot and the dialogue are all funny. Hell, do one more, like horror, like everything is unsettling and thematically devoted to that. It just gives it this really strong feeling. And I almost like to think of it as like if you've ever had a dessert that's like, okay, right, it's sort of sugary and tasty, but then you have a really well done, rich dessert. It's the same flavors, right? It's still sweet and cinnamony or something like that, but it's just like the most tasty, cinnamoniest, sugariest thing ever. This is what I adore so much about Dark Souls, is that it feels like every single element of the game is devoted to the theme of the world, which is souls and life, or a certain type of life comes from fire, and that's contrasted against the inevitability of it fading back to darkness again. Everything has to do with that. The idea that when you kill things, you collect the souls. And how do you improve yourself? You do it at a bonfire. And the bonfires are symbolic in the world, immediately presented to you this way. They're symbolic in the world of places of respite, and they just have great value, right? The fact that pretty much every single denizen of any region is connected to that region. The undead burg, it's just the inhabitants who are going hollow. What does going hollow mean? It's directly tied into that. All the items that have to deal, that like all the various magical properties of the items, directly tied into the lore. The idea of, again, the emotion of the loneliness, where there's this I mean, the story, just at the highest level, it's a kingdom that's slowly falling apart, and people are losing their sanity and returning back to this natural state of darkness. And how all the characters are like, oh, look at you. People are surprised to see another person sort of around. Everything in the game points to loneliness, and this is embodied in the lack of music, the lack of a mini-map to help ground you. It's incredible. It's so devoted to the idea there. And, you know, the quest of collecting the great souls of the great lords, including Lord Gwyn in the end, allowing you the decision to again reignite the world. I'm like speechless at it. It's so incredible. And I almost think that the unforgiving difficulty, in a way, really ties into the game. I mean, this might be a weak argument, but, you know, the idea, the thing that I feel most is not necessarily that the world is difficult, it's that the world is fair. You don't really stand out any more or less than the very first skeletons at the start of the game that, if you watched my original Dark Souls playthrough, gave me a shitload of trouble. And I think that part of the difficulty that I find really charming is in the lore that there's a chosen undead who will keep returning back and persevering and eventually overthrow the entire kingdom and have the choice to reignite it or let it fade away. And so the only way that you can be that most powerful thing in the entire world is by literally doing that. I mean, like, it's just lovely. It's just the loveliest damn game. And just from a general world design perspective, like, what a beautifully gnarled, twisted, extraordinary thing. You know, I there's something that I just want to, I can hardly believe this. I can hardly believe this. Crone, pleasure to have you joining us here at 82 months. There's something here that I gotta get to the Firelink Shrine to be able to show it. Where's the ladder? Hater shield too. This game is just so devoted to its own identity. And I part of think one of the ways in which the game feels so strongly resonant is due in large part to the fact... Actually, can I drop down here? Oh, that's right. We need to get more Estises.
Oh, regrettably, I would...
Yeah, the difficulty really makes you pay attention. It really makes you focus on the world. You wind up seeing what's going on. Show some things that are, like, just remarkable here. So let's see. How do I look down? Is it down here? At one of these angles, we can actually look down into Blighttown. Is it over here? Yeah. See, Quelags is literally directly below us. So there's the huge struts between the two cities that you can walk down. There's some items there. So there's Blighttown right there. Yeah, so Quelags is like right down there in this direction. And you may have seen during the playthrough Lost Izalith, you could see the Lost Izalith and the demon, or not Lost Izalith, you could see the demon ruins from the catacombs. They're up there. That's the turret and the bridge. Well, this is the bridge right here with the dragon on it later on in the game. And of course, you can see the church all the way up there. Is this thing? And I learned about this just last night because I was so excited to play. Are these things up? Boo. You can actually see the Duke's archives from very early in the game, and that's the last thing I'll show. I'll just run right to there. I mean, it's just incredible the way that you can see how the world can connect to each other. So I think a lot of you know about this point right here, but like if I jump over to here and walk down this way, right down there, that's actually, oh, here it is. Here is the entrance to the Capra Demon. Oh, that actually is where the Capra Demon is. Remember this staircase that I walked up to fight the Capra Demon? Yeah, I mean, Lower Undead Burg, like, you can actually look down. See, there's the ambush points, there's the stairwells there. Dude, I'm so glad I rebound that walk button. Or that roll button. So if you jump down there, you can fight the Capra Demon? Yeah, yeah. I can go there right now, actually. Jerk dragon. Right from here, you can actually see the Duke's archives, barely. I think, where is it? It's like somewhere right around. Maybe it's over on this side. Get your shield away, dude. Where is it? I used to know. There's a place where you can actually look and just see the Duke's archives. Maybe it's up there. Where am I? Where's Anor Londo from here? Taking a drink, hey. I think I need to go a smidge higher up. But it's just amazing how you can see. Oh, don't give me that nonsense. Damn, they deal a lot of damage. Is Hovel New Game Plus armor? So, there's Sen's Fortress. Alright, let me kill these guys real fast. Do I actually have to be all the way up there? I'm gonna go up here and see if it's up there. Oh god. So there is the bridge across. It should be... Oh, come on. I thought you could actually see it from right there. Oops. I mean, maybe we have to just go up to where the Taurus Demon is to be able to see it. I recall that it was able to be seen there, because it's right there. That's where... Might be in the Undead Parish. That is true. Well, to the parish we go. gonna go up one more level, see if we can see it. Gosh, this is just the best game. You show us by playing New Game Plus until you get to the Duke's Archive. Like... Oh, I see. I'm not far enough over. I think I need to be more over in the parish area to be able to see it, but, like, it's literally that rock right there. On the other side is the archives. I think I actually may have come too far over. I think I needed to go back to the original area. Let me see if I can actually find it. Alright, let me just quit this game. There's this great... Close, 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 close. Quit game. Let's see if we can open this puppy up. Huh. Dark Souls. Let's see. Duke's Archive from Undead. Yeah, is this it? Oh, it's from on top of the church. So this is the original Dark Souls image. See here, there's the bell where you fight the gargoyles. You can actually see right there. There's the Duke's Archive there. Look at that. Just you can barely see it in the distance there, but that's like such a nice touch. That's such an incredible touch. What just like a stunningly good game. You can see from the Dragon Bridge. Man. Yeah, this is the non-remaster in case you were wondering. Whew. Here's a better image of it. Ah, yeah, there we go. Whoosh. Dude, isn't that just extraordinary that you can see the archives from there? Zorazon says, how come we're so concerned with the Duke's Archives? Well, I mean, it's just kind of amazing that... Well, I mean, one of the first wow moments in the game is when you start to realize that the Undead Burg is curling in on itself. That the bridge you walked under, oh my god, I'm on that bridge now, and that's where I just was. Holy cow. It's like a really marvelous feeling. And then the more you start to realize, oh my gosh, from the Firelink Shrine, I can see all the way into Blighttown and all the way up to the Undead Parish. And just to like see those areas in the distance right there is really amazing. And then to even go one step further and, okay, I'm at the Undead Parish. I've just fought the gargoyles. It's essentially the second boss of the game. I'm ignoring the Asylum Demon. He doesn't count. But here, you're going to ring the bells, and then you're going to have to ring this bell. You're going to have to go then through the depths to Blighttown, defeat Quelaag, ring that bell, come all the way up, go to Sen's Fortress, go to Anor Londo, beat Anor Londo, and then you actually have the opportunity to go to the Duke's Archive. The fact that it would just present something that's maybe 20 hours out, that's just incredible. That's just incredible.